Boom!
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, live Grown Man Record Night. Your one-stop shop for Friday night entertainment. It's a jihad. It's an internet jihad of record proportions. See what I did there, Steve?
Not really.
You alerted yourself.
That's something to do with the hat you're wearing?
Record proportions.
Jihad?
Record proportions.
Oh.
Knock that camera down a little bit. Just a little bit too much headroom. That's all right. I ain't quite. I wish I was a little bit taller.
You want to tilt down a little bit?
We'll tilt down. There we go.
There we go.
All right, that's all right.
Nice.
There we go. That's a good looking shot.
Show my ankles.
What you got? You got some mosquito bites down there on there.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, clean.
Hope you are.
Steve Fever, clean ankles. This is November 87th, 1492. Welcome to Grown.
What number show is it?
Number 108.
108.
108. It's a good time.
When did you do number 100? Was I here?
We were here. We did a big time deal.
I've been preparing for 100. I've been working on some stuff.
Not only that, we're over 300 on the YouTubes.
I've written a skit.
304, I believe we're at on the YouTubes.
Okay.
That's good times. We appreciate
Oh,
everybody.
nice.
Everybody knows that's where you stay up with us, and during the week, if you want to keep up with what's going on, you want to hit us up on the old Facebook page. That's where we, you know, in the past I've talked about music stuff. Right now
That's where you post the cheat codes.
I'll post the cheat codes. If you want to get in, you want the code right to Tyson, this is a website for you. Get on in there.
Okay.
Get your position. Go ahead and jockey for position. Get a good one now, because that's where you're going to want to be.
Okay.
To find out numero uno, your best information. Best information. We got a good show tonight. We got a lot of stuff, cool stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the week is tougher, it's more reward for a Friday night. That's what I say. It's what I've always said.
When the going gets tough.
When the going gets tough, the tough gets liver problems.
Okay.
And then it just takes me a Friday and a half a Saturday, and I'm already in a problem situation. We got cameraman has joined us again.
You've got a full house.
Full house. A lot of people here tonight. Good studio audience.
Agent X.
Agent X is in the house. Girlfriend. We got Jay. Cameraman stopped by.
That's something else right there. There's a lot going on.
A lot going on. A lot going on with my wife, Steve.
Yeah. You see dead people.
You dropped your paper.
Thank
now
you.
what?
Thank you.
If we want to take a little time to talk about my life.
We don't.
My life. I can hear the spirits calling me. My life. Remember that, Jay?
I do.
Pork chop song. That never got made. Really. All right.
We should do that.
We probably shouldn't.
It could be your theme to the show.
It could be, Steve, but I don't think it's a good one. If you noticed, coming into the program here, a little
It's still going on in the background.
mutilation rights.
Should I
It's a
change that?
Brooklyn.
It's a good name for
death metal band. It's part of the Free
Did you
Music
scare some
Archive.
people?
Yeah, I probably frightened a few people. I put my freemusicarchive.org playlist on shuffle, and it came up with a death metal band. And so, but there'll be some surf rock in there, folks. There'll be some jazz. There'll be some other stuff. So, but if you like free music, freemusicarchive.org is the place to be. It's the place to beef. It's the place to beef your own taco. If you're one to really like to beef your own taco, get in there and really beef it up yourself.
You like a lot of beef on your tacos?
freemusicarchive.org. That's your numero uno place.
You a soft shell or a hard shell?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was a soft shell guy for many, many, many years. Until standing stuffs came out, all right? Standing stuff taco shells. At first it's like, I'm not paying extra for that. That's bull. Have you ever tried to play the game of, all right, I got 4 tacos on a plate here. I got my 2 guys in the middle, okay? I'm going to get them to do that. And then the ones on the outside, you tilt these that way, tilt those that way to make all the tacos
you just
stand
end
up.
up with a taco salad in the end.
It's bullshit. Those are the cheapo shells. If you get the standing stuffs, everything stands up on the plate. And at first it's like, that's one of those gimmicky ideas, like a concave soap bar. Yeah, I don't really need a freaking concave soap bar. But standing stuffed taco shells, that's not a bad GD invention.
Okay.
And then I got to where I was like, I'm not buying those anymore, and I would just buy the cheapos because I kind of got over it a little bit. But then all of a sudden they came out with those nacho cheese stand-in stuffs. Game changer, especially if you get them on sale. I prefer these 2-to-1 easy over the Taco Bell Doritos Locos Tacos. Because those shells are so thin.
Yeah, they're thin.
By the time you go like right here and it goes, and it like evaporates before your eyes as you're trying to put it in your mouth. Yeah. These are thick guys. The first time I made the mistake of putting them in the oven too long, and then the tips of the shells, I
feel like my chair's way in front of you. I'm looking behind me to talk to you.
I can't.
You move up, or
I'll put you back. You pulled it up. You pulled it up.
I pulled it up.
See what hames?
This
is all blocked off.
I figured I'd have to be up here to show things anyways.
There's people here. We got a guy for that. We pay good money for a guy. I've paid so much money for a man in the past.
A guy Smiley?
I've paid for a guy Smiley. I've paid for a rusty trombone, Steve. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm an American. It's a capitalist, consumer-based market. If I want to pay for a rusty trombone, I just open up my wallet, I go in and say, hey, who wants to and
I'll prefer the dingy Sanchez.
all I'm saying, this is America. You can do that if you want.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
Not that.
Record albums?
I think we were talking about records somewhere in there.
Well, I tell you what, we had a good night this evening, broke into some cool music. I really needed some music to bring me through this evening, and I know I can always count on the Grown Man Record Night playlist to really get down with where my feelings are. And I'm really involved in matching my feelings with music, and that's what we do here.
Most people want to do that.
Sure. And, you know, I remember I was playing with some musicians. They really gave me credit for being a guy that kind of spread things out, you know, over multiple genres in terms of my influences and whatnot.
Right.
And I'm like, do you not do that? Do you not do, you know, it's a rainy day, you're driving around,
everybody do that?
And you listen to jazz. Or if it's a Sunday morning, you're drinking coffee, you're listening to Bob Dylan. Or if it's Friday night, you start listening to death metal and punching each other, and then by 2 o'clock in the morning, you're listening to 38 Special and you're hugging.
Okay.
That's one. It's a hierarchy of music. They're just things that you jump onto.
I think if you're playing 38 Special at 3 a.m., you've got a problem.
What I always say, that's how it happened. My man Mike Horney and us, we used to get crazy in the dorm rooms and shit. And early in the evening, it was Slayer, Sepultura, NWA, Eazy-E, gangster rap, heavy metal. We're fucking shoving one another, getting stupid. 2 o'clock in the morning rolls around. It's Air Supply and 38 Special, and we're all singing along and just laughing. And it always happened. And if you told us on Friday, early Friday, that was what was going to go down, we would say no. Anyhow, I don't know why. This is a lost cause.
I saw Air Supply in concert.
Did you? Yeah. With a girl.
With a girl for a girl. She had to buy the tickets and a steak dinner.
Okay.
They had a laser light show that had butterflies.
Was it? Please tell me it wasn't sirloin. Sirloin's garbage. You didn't do it for sirloin.
Prime rib.
Okay. Oh, there we go. I like it.
In fact, I think it was steak and lobster.
Oh,
it was
sure.
Surf and turf.
Oh yeah. You know, for Air Supply, I like Air Supply. My mom was a big Air Supply, so I remember when I was a kid.
Guilty pleasure, I guess.
Yeah, that definitely falls in there. I've even taken like bands like Def Leppard and shit like that, Journey, out of guilty pleasure.
Sure.
I think it's just a good band in their own right. But Air Supply 38 Special, yeah, that's guilty pleasure. I think there's a cat down here.
There is. I'm glad she came in. It's cold outside. I'm sure everybody's cold right now.
We got what we call an Arctic.
You're the weather guy.
What do you call those guys?
Not a polar vortex.
Polar vortex. We got a polar vortex bringing.
Was it a vortex?
Oh, it's vortex.
Not an Arctic blast.
When we're talking, while we're talking, it's vortexing.
Okay.
I don't know. But it's cold, and it's cold even in North Carolina. It's cold.
Yeah, I thought we were spared, but the wind chill is what bites you.
It's beefy. For November, it's super beefy.
Temperatures really aren't that low, but it just feels like it's colder.
It's going to be in the 20s tonight. Some of our Canadian friends
People
are
are
like,
like,
shut up.
fools.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
like
man.
20, man. It's so cold.
But it is November, just barely November.
Hey, we're in the South.
Yeah.
We're allowed at that idiocy.
Ooh, I already did the what we played graphics. Let's get into it.
Have we played?
I skipped the first record. We'll talk about that in a minute. But then you came in super early tonight
I did.
and brought this to the table, numero dos.
Yeah, we listened to Junior Walker and the All-Stars, Rainbow
Love him.
Funk.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know that record as much as the other ones.
It's from 1971 on
Oh.
Motown Records.
Okay.
It's got a nice cover.
Jay, you want to show some records? No. Jay,
This is what we play. We don't have to get up close with them and shit.
well,
There's a nice picture of Junior Walker on the back wearing a bow tie.
yeah, man.
How about that?
That's a good looking man.
It's a good record.
Good looking man.
I haven't, I picked it up a while back.
Yeah. Hey, I put on a little Mothers of Invention.
That was
Weasels.
some crazy stuff.
Weasels Rip My Flesh. Listen to side one a couple. This was a dig of the week. 3 or 4 weeks ago. Played side one probably right after the show ended. Played side two tonight. It's first time it's been on the program. And it was
Very heavy.
Oh,
Very experimental.
Jeez.
It made me, parts of it made me think of the influence of Edgar Varese on him,
I can hear that.
because it's out there.
I think
You know,
Zappa admitted to
Varese
being-
is one of those guys you'll see in. I told Jay this earlier. You'll see in your record stores that carry popular that don't carry symphonic music.
Yep.
There'll be some Varese records in
You
there.
also see him in your rectum. Damn near killed him. There's another one of your records, Steve. What's that all
Really?
about?
What's going on there? I don't know. This is Kraftwerk,
Kraftwerk.
the Electric Cafe. I thought it sounded just great. Fidelity.
Really,
1986,
really good record,
I
man.
think.
A little later
Warner
Kraftwerk,
Brothers?
but dude, totally.
Sounds like the Times.
Yeah.
Yeah, of the times, but still Kraftwerk.
Spot on the money.
Krautrock or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's
Some good electronic popular music.
that was good, and you're right. That really did sound nice and crisp. It was the oral version of Blue Blockers. Crisp, clear, precise.
Nice bass. Timber.
Played a little. Hey, I pulled this out. I was just kind of going through the library, and I was like, "Yep." For some reason, I pulled this. If you've not heard Volto, it's Danny Carey from Tool, who's one of the best drummers in rock and roll history, in my opinion. This is his Prague little side project called Volto. This is in Cider. How you say that? In Satare record came out last year. Tied for first place with the best record of the year with this and the Boards of Canada's Tomorrow Harvest, in my opinion.
I don't know.
It's fantastic, and
It's
it's
good.
really fusiony, but God, it's got a nice, heavy, beefy, cheesy feel to it. And I'm all about beefy, cheesy feels.
Got a beefy, cheesy feel to it.
And I'll have to say this next record, it comes with us all from here at Grown Man Record, a little bit of a heavy heart.
Okay.
I got a plain wrapper packaging for the 12-inch of Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight. We played the long version out of respect tonight because my man Henry Jackson, a.k.a. Big Bank Hank, got into hip-hop late 70s. He worked the door at the Bronx nightclub called The Sparkle and managing the Grandmaster Kaz and the Mighty Force MCs. Jackson was discovered as a rapper while he was working at the Crispy Crust Pizzeria. A Peepop's a pizzeria. We make a good Italian massage.
We were just having pizza.
We was just having a pizzerini in there. A Peepops. A bitty boopy. A bitty guitarby.
So what was this guy? Henry Jackson?
The old
No.
Big Hank. Big Bank Hank.
Big Bank Hank.
A customer, Sylvia Robinson at the pizzeria. They heard him rapping over some Kaz's Cold Crush Brothers beats, I guess while he's making pies or whatnot. They asked him to join the group and in turn asked Grandmaster Kaz for some more beats, and there comes Sugar Hill Gang. That's where it all started from, and he passed away at the age of 57 this week.
Whoa.
I don't know what he died from. That's whack. That's pretty early. Very seminal guy, very seminal group. And that's too early, man. So we busted out the long version of Rapper's Delight tonight. It's the B-side, which I think is like 7 or 8 minutes long. Felt like forever for just straight of some old school rap. It was forever. But anyhow, Mazel Tov. I'll just I'll do it right now. You got something, Steve?
Is that Good Times that they sampled? Boom, 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 boom.
No.
Boom, 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 boom.
No,
boom,
what
boom.
is that?
Good Times. Boom, boom.
No.
These are the good times. It sure sounds like it.
Yeah, but it's a song.
Not?
It's that song you're just singing.
Good Times.
No. Jay, what's the song you say in The Rapper's Delight was ripping off? Boom, boom, boom.
No.
No?
Bum, 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 bum. No.
That's what I said. That's what Jay said. Jay was wrong.
It's Good Times, folks.
Jay's been wrong before.
Once.
You shouldn't shoot me, Johnny. My grandmother shot me once. All right. Let's keep it moving. Pick this up. It was a dig of the week last week. Bo Diddley, Where It All Began. It's a German import. Very crazy Bo Diddley record. One of the first ones I got. It's in terrific shape. The other one I got last week that was for dig of the week, not in the best shape.
This one's in great shape.
This one's in great shape and a great record.
Yeah, it is.
And you think more Bo Diddley. You may kind of start leaning a little more bluesy than you would think at times if you've not heard him in a while. It's very R&B. I mean, but solid in the pocket, and I don't know, always struck a chord with me, even from a very early age.
Right.
Probably started with the Bo Jackson commercials.
Well, it's just got that hook that you can't get out of your system.
Remember the whole
Once you got the hook.
Remember the whole Bo nose thing with the Bo Jackson? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bo Diddley was on the commercials.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, this dude's got a square guitar. What's that about? And I looked him up. Not on the internet, because that didn't exist. That didn't exist then. But looked him up, and then I went to the store, and I bought a tape. It's another one of those, like I've told on the show before, when I was a little man. I went to the store and was like, y'all got any John Coltrane? And they're like, this little fat redneck kid's asking for John Coltrane. And I went and did the same thing and asked for Bo Diddley. And he turned me to a section that was probably this wide in tapes. And it had a Bo Diddley tape. And it was awesome. It had Roadrunner on it. And it had which is on one of these two that I got, where him and another guy are like talking shit to one another.
Yeah.
You 10 days older than water. Yeah, you so ugly and tears run down the back of your head. Stay away from your face. And they're just going back and forth. It's on one of these two, but it's really cool, and I love Bo Diddley. He seems like a fun guy, fun guy. Mushrooms, man, and mushrooms. What's this about, Steve?
Mushrooms.
Tell me about it.
We played the Straubs. This is Grave New World, I believe, from 1972.
72.
Yeah, I don't know which album it is.
Have you?
This is the first album they put out after Rick Wakeman left to join Yes.
Okay.
Because he was a member of this band.
Have you figured out, in the Straubs discography, this is very important for all record diggers, is there a jumping off point? Is it this album?
I don't know. I don't
this
know.
album
I don't
and
know.
that album, but not this one?
I have
but
the best of the Straubs and a couple of songs from that album.
Best of the Straubs with the strawberries on the cover?
Are on this album.
That's good. This one's good. I've got one that's good. I've heard two in a store that I've sampled that I'm like, oh no, who would listen to that ever?
Okay.
It's terrible.
It might be something that would grow on you, though. Sometimes
Maybe.
you never know, some of that music.
It was, oh.
But I like this album a lot.
Yeah, it was very cool. So I'm just wondering, that's one of those things, if somebody's got some recommendations,
I'm sure there's some people that know a lot more about
some
Straubs.
Straubs are just spot
are.
on the money. Other ones are just like, I can't think of a time when I would enjoy listening to this particular piece of music.
Okay.
Maybe a quarter to never. Oh. And one of the last records we played before we started playing some stuff off of the digital files, the George Benson Cookbook. Cameron mentioned we hadn't played this in a while. Early George Benson, one of my favorite covers of all time, some of my favorite jazz ever, to be honest.
Great George Benson record. Might be his best.
That might be his best. I know you got White Rabbit is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a Bob James production.
Really? I don't know who produced this one, but that's good. So that's pretty much all of what we played, minus a record that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit.
Okay. I'm going to work up some theme music for some of these franchises you have.
I got some franchises.
We need some music. We need some opens and closes and bumps and whatnot. So we'll work on that.
That's true.
We'll work on that.
It's something to work on.
I wanted to stew on it for a while.
Speaking of working on stuff, I may be in a little bit. I mean, I may actually be going into training because
You mean like military training.
no, I got a little situation I want to propose to a gentleman that I think is worth proposing this to.
No.
All right. Steve doesn't want any pop off. Tonight in Greensboro, which is just right down the road here, we have a young man that's speaking, and people are paying money to go.
He's a young man.
He's a man. He's a
I've
man.
seen him on TV.
He's speaking, and people are paying to hear him speak. And
He's one of those like motivational speakers.
he's one of those and something. And last night he was up at the Walmart signing books. And we're talking about Joel Osteen. Okay? So, I don't know. This just kind of came to me here recently. And I'm thinking maybe for charity's sake, maybe if we wanted to donate some money to the United Way, or to the Human Fund, or the Red Cross, or Jackets for Jesus. That's a good one, right?
Jack it off.
Jackets for Jesus. I'm here tonight, 1994, to challenge Joel Osteen to a fist fight. I want to fight him in the worst way. I want to punch him, Steve. Oh, Steve, baby, I want to punch him. I want to punch him hard. And I want to do it for charity, and I want to give him a lot of money, but boy, I want to punch him. That's the bottom line here is we're talking punching. I could leg kick him. His legs are too small. I want to punch him. And I'll do it for charity because I don't think he's no count.
Would you sweep him?
I'd sweep his leg. Look at him. I hate him, Steve. And I want to.
Look at him. He's a nice guy.
I want to prove
nice smile.
I want to prove a point about it.
Nice drop shadow.
I don't like him.
Right side of his face.
I like just about everybody, Steve. You know me. I'm a good guy. He's a terrible human being. I want to do stuff to him. I'll hold him down. I want to make him. do stuff to him. But everybody wants to watch it. I'd give the money to charity, but I won't do stuff to him. So anyhow, I don't know. Something to think about. Joel Osteen, if you're out there, I'm already.
We could get a Kickstarter going for that.
Get a Kickstarter. Mikey Bananas versus Joel Osteen, live on pay-per-view. All the money goes to Jackets for Jesus. To Joel Osteen and his stupid fucking hair. Oh, Frank. I don't like him. Something wrong with that man.
What are we watching over here?
In the Atari alcove tonight, we've got some classic commercials going on. Look at that, Handy Andy. I knew this girl at this truck stop.
Andy.
That ain't no count. I tell you what, ain't no sense in delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
We'll go on and get us into a dig of the week.
Okay.
I picked up some cool records this week. Did you pick up some cool records, Steve?
I got a few.
A few records?
Just a few.
I got just a few.
Get just a few. I was real happy with that.
Yeah.
Hey, quickly I'll tell you. You heard about Robert Plant?
Sure.
You know what they said about Robert Plant?
Oh, he said he tore up a contract that was worth a whole bunch of money.
Richard Branson had made an offer to Led Zeppelin to play 35 shows, I think, over some period of time at three places in London, Berlin, and New Jersey. Okay, and it was for $800 million, basically in U.S. dollars. Of course, Jimmy Page and John Paul and Jason replaced him for his dad. We're all like, yeah, we'll do it. And Robert's like, give me 48 hours, think about it. And he comes back and he just like tears up the contract in front of them. Very dramatic. Something people would think Robert might do, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know.
It's believable.
Well, but apparently it's not true.
Okay.
I don't think any of it's true. I don't think the offer was even made.
Come on.
So I think it's all just.
The rebuttal comes from Consequence of Sound. website, which very pseudo-legitimate music website for facts like that. I get a lot of my information from there. I'll be honest with you. So it's all baloney.
Well, according to Robert Plant's publicist, he called it a bunch of rubbish.
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 British sounding.
And another Zeppelin is Jimmy Page.
Yep.
Jimmy Page has a book out now. It's a picture book.
What's it called?
It's called Jimmy Page.
No, the name of the book.
Oh, the name of the book is called Jimmy Page.
All right. Let's give us a second. And then the writer of the book and the musicians.
I don't think he wrote anything. There aren't many words in the book. It's all pictures of Jimmy Page.
It's all just pictures of needles with heroin in it, and then a guitar.
Something like that.
It's 4 pictures of a needle.
But he's making the rounds. He was on Letterman. He was on something with Chris Cornell, and Chris Cornell was interviewing him. And
Rolling Stone. That was Rolling Stone.
It was in Rolling. You can go to Rolling Stone, check it out. It was in front of an audience somewhere doing something, but it was probably one of the better interviews because it's Chris Cornell interviewing Jimmy Page. So
yeah.
He wasn't asking things that a journalist would ask. He's asking things that someone who understands would ask.
Sure.
You know.
I figured it'd be 4 pictures of heroin needles, 8 pictures of guitars, and then like several pictures of just double middle fingers. And then at the end,
the cool thing is
Jimmy Page.
he would ask him about a picture, and
New
Jimmy
York.
would refer to it as to what guitar he was holding. Well, I just got that Les Paul, so that was probably 1969.
That's
and,
yeah.
He remembers all that. It's so weird how good shape Jimmy. He looks great. He looks fantastic.
We should all go do
the man's
heroin.
been through hell and back. I mean,
we should all go do heroin. That's
No.
what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying.
Steve Fever's recommendation, all Grown Men Record Nights viewers, is maybe some heroin. Don't go overboard. Everything in moderation. Hey, this Dig of the Week record actually was the very first record we played tonight. I wouldn't normally play a Dig of the Week record before we actually talked about it on the program. This is doubles or triples or quadruples of this record. But I have to say, this version in the best shape of any of the ones I have, and it was frickin' free.
Free?
Yes, from Command Records, produced by Enoch Light. It's the Persuasive Percussion Volume 2's Terry Snyder and the All-Stars.
Yeah, man.
1959. Early business, man. Early business.
He makes the turn, and he presents. I can't see the.
But it's great, and this is
that monitor out and just turn it upside down.
This is one of the greater,
Thank you.
tighter, cleaner versions of this. And it was in a box out in front of the record store, Free Records, and it was. I got all. It was a crate, and probably about this many records, and all of them were like stuff. I'm like, yeah, all right.
I love Command Records.
Yeah, I know anything on Command I'm going to get for free for sure, but especially for free.
No,
not everything on Command.
Not everything.
Come on, Steve. Come on, Steve.
Oh, how's that? That's better.
Tell me a record you got, Steve.
Oh, okay. How about this was free.
Yeah?
I actually, well, here I am. I actually found a new record store. It's not a new, well, it's kind of new.
It's a nude record store?
In a town in
You
Wilkesboro.
took off your britches and went in there.
I went to Wilkesboro, North Carolina to do some production. I discovered a record store right across the street from where I was working. They've only been there a couple months. I think they were downtown or somewhere else in town. I think it's called Corner Records in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. And he's got a lot of great records, but I will say this: I think his prices were ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
you run into people like that.
But the funny thing is, I think I won the game basically. I'll tell you how. But he wasn't even there, and the guy next door was like, "Yeah, go on through that side door right there and look around." So I went in there and I found some records I felt I had to have. So I went ahead and I just gave the guy next door the money.
Sure.
He was cool. Didn't charge.
It's like Clerks.
Didn't charge me tax.
The convenience store and then the video store.
So if you spend $10 with this guy, you get a free $1 record. So you spend $10, you get a $1 record. So I spent like $20.
Okay.
On 2 records.
Oh.
Because his prices were crazy.
Ew.
But one of my free records is Gil Scott Heron's.
Dude.
Pieces of a Man.
You put it on there yet? You know what kind of shape it's in?
Yes, it's in good shape.
What?
It's in good shape.
Why the hell would that be free?
We're talking the revolution will not be televised. And, this is like an early hip-hop record, really. This guy is,
I mean, that's seminal.
Just lyrically rapping to beat.
I would love to have that record. I would pay money for that record.
Yeah, yeah.
I would. Patrick Swayze, he's good looking. I'd pay money to touch him.
You want to go next? You want me to go next?
I'd pay money to touch him. How many you got?
I got 3.
I'll do one, Steve.
Okay.
Actually, this one comes at your recommendation, and you played it here on the program.
I have 2 copies of that.
Really? I really enjoyed this.
I have one that's a little dirty, but anybody's welcome to have it if they want.
James Gang, your album. This is the debut by the James Gang.
Yeah,
Beautiful gatefold. I think this is an original press.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Is that ABC Dunhill?
ABC Dunhill on Bluesway. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the Pickwick for a couple bucks less, but you know the deal with Pickwick. Early '69, labels Bluesway and ABC. Only album to feature the bassist Tom Criss, later replaced by Dale Peters on the next album. Notable for being on the first album to feature guitarist Joe Walsh, who would later achieve great success as a solo artist and with the Eagles. Thank you, Wikipedia, you bunch of motherfuckers. But the cool thing about this record, now listen to this. Tell me if you've experienced this, Steve. In the locked groove at the end of side 1 of the LP version of the album, which is normally silent for most phonographic records, again, Wikipedia, right on point there, the spoken phrase, "turn me over," quote unquote, repeats in a loop, while the locked groove at the end of side 2 repeats the phrase, "play me again." So
I'll go home and do that.
both of these sides of this record has a locked groove, side 1 and side 2. Very cool. I don't know. I assume this is the OG press. From what I could, in 5 minutes of research, that's what I could figure out is this is the OG. Somebody's probably screaming and pounding their chest as I'm saying this that, no, there's a tree on the front of the outside of the cover with the guy with the thing. But from what I could just at a glance, if it's not first, it's very early. Because there was another label came in. I can't remember who it was. But anyhow. Whatever.
Hey, I picked up an album I had to have. This is one we were.
Yeah, that's right.
We were out digging, and I went through and I jumped on a couple aisles and checked some letters. Some of the letters I always have to check, and you go in behind me and you're like, oh, you didn't.
Did you not see this?
You didn't want this? And I was just like, oh my, are you kidding me? I passed on Discipline. I didn't even see it in the rack. Anyway, the King Crimson's Discipline, 1981. It's got this nice. I never knew this because I always had the CD, never had the record. It's got this really cool raised. The Celtic knot in the middle is
oh yeah,
embellished or embossed.
Embossed.
Yeah, that's. I was so glad to pick it up. Warner Brothers is the copy I have, I believe. But it's in fantastic condition. It's in its original shrink wrap.
So is this guy's stuff for the stuff that's like pricey, like you said? Is it condition wise? Is it
like how much did you pay for this record?
$5.
Okay, I paid $15.
At $5 at a place that was
I felt like the records he had priced at $10. I normally see priced for $4.
Okay.
And he had records priced at $15, which I think would be $8.
Were they at least super clean?
So far, yeah.
Oh, well.
I mean, I didn't look at every record. And I think some of them were pretty busted, but some of them, it's totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
Totally ridiculous.
Okay, hey, check this out. Speaking of King Crimson, I picked up Robert Fripp's Exposure.
Yes, I have that record.
You got this record?
Yeah, he when he recorded this, he actually initially wanted to use Daryl Hall on like all the tracks. There's a lot of singing on this album.
Yeah. No, actually, speaking of the singing on this record, lyrics were mostly provided by Johanna Walton, a poet and girlfriend of Fripp's, who in '88 was a passenger killed in the destruction of the Pan Am Flight 103. Isn't that crazy? List the who plays on this album, Steve?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Daryl Hall.
I know Phil Collins plays drums.
He was able to use him for one song. There was a problem with the record companies and that kind of crap. But
I know Phil Collins is on this. The bass player. I'm blanking on his
John
name.
Wetton?
Levens.
Tony Levin?
Tony Levins?
Tony Levin. Levin.
Levin. Is he not on there? He's on there.
Let's see. Contributors. Phil Collins, Brian Eno, Robert Fripp, Peter Gabriel, Daryl Hall, Peter Hamill, Tony Levin, Jerry Marotta, Sid McGuinness, Terry Roche. So, yeah, there's a ton of people.
That's a great lineup. And it was like $3 or $4 for that record. Yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Pick that mug up.
Very cool.
So we'll check that out here a little later. Is it very ambient?
It's real kind of 80s. I mean, it's
80s experimental-ish?
a little-ish.
Okay.
It's a little less crazy than the Robert Fripp you would expect to hear.
Okay.
I think.
Well, that's cool. I wasn't going to let it sit in there for that price.
So, hey, here's where I think I won the game with this guy.
Okay.
So he's got all these crazy, like some records that I think I would pay $20 for, he would have for $60 or $80.
Yeah, sure. Something you want to stay away from.
He wasn't there. I might have mentioned to him you might want to think about repricing anyway. But I came across a record here for a lot less than I thought I would need to pay. It's the Blue Cheer studio debut album. What's it called? It's called Vincibus Eruptum. It's their first record, and the covers beat to hell.
Dude, I've been This is on my list.
Yeah, it's what some people say it's the first heavy metal album. It has
Inside Outside is one of
it has
that's what I'm really
rock
looking
tendencies. It has
oh my god
all this stuff, and it's a good album.
I've been super looking for this
Summertime
album.
Blues on it, which is people say it's the first heavy metal song. Whatever.
Yep, the Summertime Blues cover of Blue Cheer did. People say is the very first heavy metal song ever.
Right.
I would say I wouldn't disagree with that. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's not what you would define as heavy metal nowadays.
Well,
but it's like Zeppelin is heavy metal.
Yeah, well, there's been times when people are like, "Oh, Sabbath is heavy metal," and I'm like, "No, it's not." When I was a kid, I'd have been like, "No, it's not," but totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it now. It doesn't have to sound like Deicide or Cannibal Corpse to qualify as heavy metal. Black Sabbath is heavy metal. All right?
I'll mention one more.
All right, Steve.
And then I'll get out of the way.
Okay.
But this one's the weirdest one. This was free because I spent $20. I got 2 free records. This is a $1 bin record. And it just jumped out at me when I saw it. It's very plain, white wrapped. It says the Do It Now Foundation, a realistic drug education album.
Well,
this was distributed to schools.
Of course it was.
And for their drug program.
So was I.
And the weird thing is that it's got people on, I listened to half of it.
Yeah.
It's got people on here talking about drugs, talking about some of the effects of drugs. But it's also got people who are, pro-drug, talking about it, what it means. And they sound stupid, of course, because they're probably high. But there's also some very psychedelic songs on here.
Really?
I think this album would make a great mashup if you put this album on with some others. We should play with that a little bit later, I think.
Yeah, that's very...
I'm going to toss that out there.
Sure. We'll think about what was... what about the United States of America, the psych band from the 60s.
Sure.
With those guys.
Or the Blue Cheer album. Or whatever.
Yeah? Not Presidents of the United States of America.
Is that the most psychedelic album you think you have?
It's one of the most out there. I've probably got some Mothers or some Zappas.
Elevators.
But that's too lyrical. There's some Zappa or Mothers that are just...
Or even Floyd.
Out of there.
Yeah.
But I would say probably United States of America that's up there.
Okay.
So maybe we'll try that.
What else did you dig?
Picked up The Doors' first record, which I did not have. And I'm pretty sure this is not first... Oh, Jesus. Oh, I dented the corner already. It's not the first press.
On TV.
It's the red Electra that's got the Doors logo on it. So I'm thinking it's like early 80s, maybe even a record club deal. But it's in super clean shape. And it's one I didn't have, and I don't know why.
In my opinion, I'm a big fan of like debut albums and the first song on the album.
Yeah.
And this album, I think the Doors had the best first song,
What's
album.
the very first one?
Break On Through.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a little played out for me.
But it defines everything.
It's like saying, "Oh, I don't want to hear Purple Haze anymore." But still, Purple Haze is like, come on.
But it's
Yeah.
it's break on through.
But this is actually, it's got the, you know, the version of the end, which I don't have on door shit that I have.
Yep.
And show me the way to the next whiskey bar. I want to hear that too, so it's good stuff. And I picked up probably my big ticket item for this week. I picked up the Kink Controversy, a Spanish import on, let me see what label this is again. PRT Records, not Pi Records. I think this came out. It could be as late. It could be as late as the early '80s.
Okay.
This is the third studio album by the Kinks, released in '65. They considered a transitional work. Both elements of the early Kinks, with the early blues heavily influenced, and it goes into where like Ray Davies started taking direction in terms of composition and getting kind of fruity with stuff.
Getting kind of fruity.
Yeah, but it's kind of that, it's right in the middle of that transitional period, and it's a little chunk of change, but it's a Spanish import, so I'm pretty stoked to get that. And so I've got like I don't know what the first I've got some of those first Kinks.
Did you ever open that sealed one?
I did, kinda Kinks.
I think I was here when you did.
That's numero 2. So I've got 2, 3, and I know dude's got 4. My 2 is a Spanish import. Which one is the silver one I got? I don't know where that is in the discography. I think it's 4 or 5. I don't know. People are going, oh, you don't know anything about music. Shut up. Shut up. But anyhow, people are probably doing that. I tell you what, that's a good dig of the week for something. I
think so.
I couldn't believe I got the time I did. I hit a record store in an hour, Steve. I'm used to being able to take my time in a record store, doing what I want to do. And I had an hour, and I went in there and blazed through it. I felt like the Flash, just zipping through bins.
You were focused though.
Hyper focused.
You know, you and I may never dig again together.
We'll figure it out. We will. It's just it's.
We'll find new meaning in the record show.
Like the like that Kinks record. I'm in a transitional period, and all periods are bad.
All my life's a circle, sun up to sundown.
All periods are bad unless your girlfriend's late, and then periods are the best thing you've ever heard of.
Nice.
3, 2, 1. And your periods are... No, see, I blew it again.
Yeah.
3, you blew it. Capiche? I tell you what, we're going to take us a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with more Grown Man Record Night business, including So to Speak and Chip Chat. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to stay tuned here and see whether or not if this motherfucker Joel Osteen accepts my challenge to a charity fight, because I'll punch him in his face.
So go make your dip.
I'll take those teeth. I'll push them down his damn throat.
Make your dip right now.
Let me tell you
is
something.
Is it bare-fisted or what?
Tonight's ingredient, bacon.
I also want you to think about this while we're taking a little break.
Baking?
How much back here on Grown Man Record Night, so everybody stay tuned.
Hey, this Christmas party is getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite Christmas gift, Mr. Microphone. Hey, what's that? Well, you set the dial on your FM radio and testing. I'm on the radio.
These kids are having a fabulous time with Mr. Microphone, the cordless microphone that actually puts your voice on the radio. There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing.
I got one.
It's practical and great fun for the whole family. Only $17.88. Mr. Microphone. Buy 2 or 3. They really make great Christmas gifts.
At Woolco, Walgreens, Gamble's, Roscoe, Pomita, Promart, Davis, OK, and City Markets.
Hey, this Christmas party's getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite Christmas gift, Mr. Microphone. Hey, what's that?
All right. We're back. Nope. What is that? What are you doing, Steve? Hey, let me tell you what. I brought in 3 commercials for us to play tonight. All titled different things. I brought them in for us to play. And when I played...
Hold on.
I brought in 3 commercials. They were all supposed to be different. But when I played them, it was all Mr. Microphone.
Mr. Microphone.
There was supposed to be a That's My Mama promo. And another spot I can't remember. That's a true story. I brought in 3 spots.
True story.
And it was like Mr. Microphone. And what was the other one? It was a promo for That's My Mama and a 10-10-220 commercial. And
you're going to have to do some make goods is what you're going to have to do.
For some, you see that? They're all 3 in there.
That's My Mama. Tell me more about that.
Oh, traffic.
I would try to tell you.
Set the dial on your FM radio and testing.
See what happens? You see what happens, Larry? All right, tell you what. Let's go on into a little so to speak.
So to speak, or not to speak. So to speak.
No, I'm just making it up.
That was great.
Why are you smoking? Yeah, we should do the Pink Floyd "Speak to Me," so to speak to me.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that genre of that.
Why won't you talk to me?
Faux Floyd.
Boss Man brought this in. You know, of all the so to speaks we've done, it almost seemed like a layup to me from the beginning, and so I kind of neglected it. And at this point, I don't think we've done any of them, which is stupid. Is Jones Soda.
Jones!
Which is one of the original boutique sodas that started showing up in your local groceteria. And this is a Jones root beer. Where's the Jones people out of?
We came from Welsh.
Utah. From Maggie.
Welsh
the photo is. Product of Canada, Dr. Deadwax.
That's why a lot of Joneses are good singers. Welsh are very good singers.
Yeah?
Tom Jones is Welsh, Robert Plant, and he's not Jones, but I don't know why that came up. I think Robert Plant might be Welsh.
He could be.
He might
be. The Jones family, independent since '96. If you're like us, you think for yourself. Come on, do they really believe we fall for flashy ad campaigns?
Is that 1996?
It is. I know it says 96.
That's the cola you get in Starbucks.
See, this might be the first case that we actually.
That's that Starbucks.
We don't know which 96.
Don't expect to find any of that here. What we do is speak for ourselves at Jones. We're just regular people who make good sodas. All right.
Regular.
Hey, while we can't promise you more popularity or better hair, I don't know what that means. If we like your photo, we'll put it in a bottle.
Pour me a little bit.
Jones, you know what is that?
Yeah.
We'll take a pull.
All right. This is a root beer. The
It's
Jones
a root beer.
I've
had their diet something. I think maybe diet root beer. I thought it was good.
Their regular cola is really good.
Oh, let's see if it's cane sugar. I'm sure it is.
You're sure it is?
Oh, no. Cameraman, as a chemist, carbonated water, inverted cane sugar.
Inverted?
Inverted. Explain to us what inverted cane sugar may mean.
May mean, I think most likely it means upside down, right? Isn't that what inverted
I would
means?
think, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what that means.
That's a great root beer.
Yeah.
Inverted.
A little like a Mugs, a little bit.
It's got a Mugs, but it's not as syrupy.
Mugs.
Must be a trade term. Or
That's
something.
good. Anybody else want to try this? We show this guy off. Let's show this guy off. Run that guy up
Yeah,
there?
they're always about their labels because they got like dogs and people on them. And
They
stuff.
got a dog on
That's good. That's a great root beer. And I'm sorry I've neglected that as long as I have, because you can find.
They're just more expensive.
Because you can, they are, but
You're
you
not
can,
gonna spend that
but
kind
you
of
can
money.
find Jones at more places than a lot of the stuff that we've tried.
it. They're still less than $30 for a 6-pack.
That's all I'm saying. That's not a bad root beer. It may not be my favorite. It's up there. It's up there. All right. So we'll wrap up a Soda Speak. And we got to figure out what we're going to do for Chip Chat.
Oh, we'll just pull some shit down and do it.
All right. Let's use some discretion.
Discretion?
Yeah. I mean, we can't do two of the same
Oh,
flavors.
we would never do that. How about let's go standard. Let's go. What's this high top?
Just mix some flavors up, Steve.
Let's do a high top.
Okay.
I don't know where these are from.
All right. We're starting with these.
And I do want to do these because we haven't. You know, we got so many potato chips.
Yeah.
You want to do two, or you want to do one more?
We'll do one more. Okay, so the high top. Let's see what this is about.
I don't remember Hot Top from growing up. That's some
Yep.
chain brand.
It's out of Illinois.
Who had that? One of the places your dad worked at sold Hot Top.
Out of
Follow?
Illinois.
Yeah, it might
I'm
have been
pretty
Follow.
sure this is a barbecue high top, which I think is more of a kind of a, if you want to really nail it down, it's more of a store brand, if you want to be honest.
Definitely a store brand.
Oh, look at, and see how cheap the packaging is? I would say it's not just a store brand. This is a dollar store brand. Not because of the quality of the product, but the quality of the packaging. Okay? It's a good way to say. But that doesn't mean anything about the chip.
Say.
Yeah, say.
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 So she hide.
Don't say.
Okay. It's so thin, I can see you through this chip. It's so... I was going to say...
Hold on.
That was my verse. That's good, though. High top. How about that?
You don't know who brought
Wow.
it in?
That's one of the better store brand barbecues because it's easy on the
It's
season.
got that old school potato taste.
It does more
Like a
potato than it
Charles- like
does
a Charles.
seasoning. And when you go store brand barbecue, you're probably dealing with more seasoning than you are actual potato. 9 times out of 10, this is the exception to the rule here. Look at that. That looks like a normal potato chip. It's white. That's okay. Where'd that go? Kitty, give that back.
They are very light in the flavor.
That's good. I appreciate that. That's a good chip. Now, Steve, you were saying about these. Tell me a little bit about it now. The better chip. Non-GMO.
I don't know much about them.
But you were saying the reason you're doing this is because we do too many potato chips.
Yeah, we do. We just lately, we've mixed it up. But lately, we've done nothing but potato chips, and I was hoping to get some kind of a corn chip or something. And I found these in a convenience store, the better chip. We've done I bought 2 bags. I bought the jalapeno sea salt. We've done the jalapeno sea salt. This is a red pepper.
Red pepper.
That's a fresh market.
Red pepper. Let me see that. It says it's made from fresh red peppers with salsa fresca. Red bell pepper corn chip.
Okay.
This stands for Fresco salsa.
So let's get into that.
Fresco salsa.
So it's a corn chip.
It's a corn chip. Tastes like an old taco shell.
It does.
An old taco.
That's exactly what it tastes like.
With the beef, though.
With the beef. Soaked in the beef juice.
Yeah.
Not necessarily with beef.
I kind of like it.
It smells like it.
I kind of like it.
Taste that.
Old taco shell.
Soaked in the beef, but no beef left.
No, it tastes like a taco shell with cold beef in it,
Yeah.
with no grease. Just really dry, cold beef in a stale taco shell. It's good.
And no pork up in the pan. It's good. Now we got one more. Our good buddies at Uncle Ray's.
Good buddies.
Wait,
De-
they're from Michigan. They're not
Det-
like good buddies.
Detroit, Michigan. And if everybody knows, Uncle Ray's comes with a nice story. Have we not done sour cream and onion or Uncle Ray's?
No, I don't know.
If not, this,
But I think still people got a lesson to learn.
it's true. And
Still a lesson to be learned, whether you've done it or not.
the lesson here from Uncle Ray is
Whether you've done it or not.
contentment. And the lesson from contentment is realizing that true happiness does not depend on the material conditions. You're telling me, you son of a bitch. Here are simple things to remember to help you to demonstrate contentment in everyday life. I will be thankful for everything that I have. I will not complain about what I don't have. I will not always ask for one more. I'm not going to real promise that. And I will value people above things. That's a good one. Stick to that, folks. That's going to be one you won't stick to now. And want less and give more. Can you say anything else? Especially as the Christmas season approaches, you need to want less and give more. Uncle Ray. Hey, from my family to yours, thank you for choosing Uncle Ray's. You're welcome, you handsome son of a bitch. Why don't you put a picture of your dick on the back of the bags, and then you'll sell more potato chips. Let's open these up. Sour cream and onions! Sour cream and onion. I'm not mad at it. Hey,
Sour cream and mumyum.
onion.
You show these?
They're light. They're crispy. They're not offensive,
Kind of powdery though. Woo.
but not too much
A little
seasoning.
heavy on the seasoning.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
You may have got a rogue one.
I got a rogue.
That's different.
This is our cream and onion.
It's a different take. Our cream and onion. Is that what it says?
When you hold it right, you can't see that.
That's not bad.
We like Uncle Ray's.
Uncle Ray's has been a fan of ours.
He's an affordable, it's a good chip for an affordable price.
I would-
He's a fan of ours.
He's a fan of ours. I would go to his house and I would.
Would you help him move his lawn furniture in?
Like
for the winter?
this little bag right here probably costs the same as that big bag over there. That's all I'll say about Uncle Ray. And then I
Yeah.
got a good lesson about whatever the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah.
Something about a peach tree.
You know what he was saying?
What?
When Jesus tells you need to give your jackets away, you give your jackets away to people that need them more than you do. Signed, Jesus, 2012.
They didn't wear jackets.
Leather jackets, or leather jackets, football jackets. That's what you want to just get down with. It's good chip chat. I feel comfortable wrapping it up with those words about giving jackets for Jesus. If you're ashamed about it, it's okay. It's all right.
Chip chat.
Because if you're ashamed about it, you're probably a motherfucker anyhow. That's all right too. The world needs ditch diggers too, Danny. The world needs ditch diggers too. Keep up with us on the YouTube. Keep up with us on I hit a button. That's all right. Keep up with us on the YouTube and the Facebook. We appreciate each and every one of you. And for Agent X and the girlfriend, cameraman, Jay, Steve Fever, I'm Mikey Bananas. We'll see you next week, Internet. All my Internet friends. We'll see you next week on Grown Man Record Night. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Bye.
And we'll try to run these commercials, see if this is working out.
Do it one more time.
This Christmas party is getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite Christmas gift, Mr. Microphone. Hey, what's that? Well, you set the dial on your FM radio and testing.
I'm on the radio.
These kids are having a fabulous time with Mr. Microphone, the cordless microphone that actually puts your voice on the radio. There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing.
I got one.
I got one.
I got one.
I got one. I got one. I got one. I got a Mr. Microphone and I love it.
It's practical and great fun for the whole family. Only $17.88. Mr. Microphone. Buy 2 or 3. They really make great Christmas gifts.
At Rollco, Walgreens, Gamble's, Roscoe, Pamita, Promart, Davis, OK, and City Markets.
Department of your mind.